Welcome, Panther fans, to another edition of Panther Preview. Coach, went to Long Beach, come home with a win, 1-1 in the division.
Celebrate the W, baby. I'll tell you what, we went over there, and Long Beach is, hasn't shown outside veer and those kind of things on their game plan so far this year. They came out, ran outside veer, and we had a little bit of a tough time adjusting. Second half, Coach Bishop did a really good job coming out and adjusting to it. They onside kicked, and we had some guys that, he did well. He sent them low and hard, and it bounced around. Luckily, we were able to recover two of those and able to come away with the win. And at the end of the day, celebrate the W, baby, because that's all that matters at the end of the day.
I tell you, we saw two, hard running backs.
Number
10, number 22.
And that's the first time we've seen 10 on tape, and he was a heck of a ball player. 22 ran the trap really well. We knew trap was one of their big plays, and once our guys saw it live, they were able to adjust a little bit and make some adaptations to what they were doing. But our defense, I think, played 80 snaps on Friday night, and none more important than that very last play of the game. But starting off, talking about our offense last week, first series of the game, we wanted to throw it around a little bit. We had two incompletions. We completed one pass to Pascagoula on a little hitch pass. He ended up not getting very many yards on it. And after that, we decided we would just go ahead and lean on our offensive line, and we did that. We had two running backs that went out, and the next we scored on every drive after that. Well, there was only one drive of the game where we did not score. That was the first one. So, ended up, I think Silas ran for one touchdown. Amari Jackson had two touchdowns, rushed for 150 yards. And then Cam DeFlanders rushed for over 100 and had two touchdowns as well. His last one, I think, was a 32-yard run down the sideline. We almost scored too fast. So, yeah. So they did really well, and that's a credit to your offensive line. Quentin Johnson probably had his best game of the year. Tristan Fortenberry was steady on his edge with 6 knockdowns. Jeremiah Moore had 16 knockdowns on the night. 16 knockdowns on the night. So that offensive line really had a good night for us. BJ Barnes has the best night of the year.
Great block too.
He had a touchdown catch. He had some really important catches on third down. He also blocked his tail off and made some really good plays out there. Ladarius Pickett got his first start of the year and showed some positive things there, along with Freifogel. He did some really nice things, as well as Chris. Chris Campbell, he was able to get 3 or 4 catches and get up the side and really do some good things for us as well. So very, very proud of what our offense was able to put together. Over 300 yards, 330 yards of offense. And then defensively, you have Isaiah Marshall's just been anchoring that front up there. He had 12 tackles on his own. Jared Loper had 18 tackles, did a really good job. Then you had Jalen Parnell. He came in and gave us another 10 or 12 tackles as well. So, but those guys really played hard. They came off, and we ask a lot of them. And playing a flex bone veer type scheme, split back veer type scheme, it's tough on a defense, and it's tough because it's going to be a 4-down thing. And so we had to overcome a lot of adversity as well from different factors throughout the game. But our guys handled that well. They understood that all they had to do was just keep doing what they've been taught, trusting each other. And at the end of the game, we were able to come out with a 40-33 win.
Well, let me ask you this. You talked about the last play, the most important play of the game, you said. Now, 10, had been picking up yardage all night. Everybody in the stadium thought that it was going to be a handoff to him. But the quarterback reverses out, and I called Tylen Wilson making the tackle, but it wasn't. It was Jaden Webb.
Yep, Jaden Webb.
2 and 3 on the field looked real similar.
Well, you're just showing your age there, Harold.
Was it a busted play, or was it?
No, it was
by design.
They'd ran that several times before. It was they faked the dive and then boot the quarterback away.
I thought it was by design, but I was talking to Carlos that was watching the replay. He watched the replays. Of course, he was out of town, and he said no. He said that was a busted play. So I haven't gone back and watched it.
No, it wasn't a busted play. It was called, but we sold out to stop the dive. Fortunately for us, we did have an extra overhang player who was able to go and make that play. And
open field tackle.
Last play of the game, and that was the biggest play of the game. So we were very, very pleased to get out of there with a win. We're now 1-1 in district, and every win in district, with only 5 district games, every win is vital. Every opportunity to go out is important, which brings us to Hancock. It's homecoming week, it's fair week, a lot of stuff going on, but at the end of the week, the Hancock game is the most important thing on the menu. And for our guys, we've really been honing in on making sure we understand to be prepared to play a Hancock team. They're 7-1. They're hitting on all cylinders. They've got a really good quarterback in number 12, really good receiver in number 11. Really good running back in number 5, 27, Hopgood's a linebacker as well as a H-back. He's a real big part of their team and does a really, really good job. I think he's on every special team. Their kicker can kick it in the end zone. He can do a lot of different things with the ball, so we've got to be aware of what he's able to do. But, defensively, they play hard. They get after you. They read their keys. They're disciplined. And their defensive backs are athletic and long. They have a lot of length to them. So, we've got our work cut out for us. Coach Lawler.
They're not 7-1 for.
They're not 7-1 for nothing. And Coach Lawler and his staff, they do a great job of prepping their guys. So, we've got to match that preparation, and we've got to make sure we go out and execute. And you and I both know that come Friday night, the execution factor is what matters, and you've got to execute one play longer than your opponent. We were fortunate to do that last week, and this week we need to clean some things up and be ready to play.
Well, just before we completely leave, and you've moved on, but Long Beach, they're going to surprise some people this year. That's the last thing I'm going to say about it. But
I don't think they're going to surprise people. I just think
they're
starting to believe in what they do, and Coach Massey's done a phenomenal job of getting them to believe in what they're doing. And they had a long streak there where they weren't very successful. They had 2 wins this year, which is 100% more than they had last year. 200% more than they had last year. And so you can see the progress that's being made and the efforts, and that just shows you the parity of the region.
Okay, putting that in the tail lights again, we were talking about homecoming. Always excited about homecoming, always excited about Panther football, period. And here it is at War Memorial Stadium. That even makes it better, folks.
So
the weather's going to be nice.
Perfect weather for football.
Yep. Tell us about the tickets.
Tickets, you can get them at the gate. You can get them on GoFan. They're going to be available on Friday, I think, till noon underneath here at the stadium. You can contact Miss Weber in the athletic office. But it is homecoming. The festivities are going to start at 6:30 with the homecoming court. That'll be over at about 6:50. We'll do our national anthem at 6:52. At 6:55, we'll have the captains. And then from there, we'll kick off at 7 o'clock. Both bands will play at halftime, and hopefully they'll put on a good show. Shout out to Mr. Patterson and our band. They went over, had a competition at West Harrison on Saturday. They did really well over there.
Great.
They represented the Panthers well. And just tonight we've got the 8th grade championship here in War Memorial Stadium. The Calmer Panthers are playing Poplarville. It's going to start at 6 o'clock tonight. Get here about 5:30. Get you a good seat. Come support those Panthers, and let's go watch them win this district.
Well, by the time you see this, that game will be over with, but we're sure it's going to be a Panther win. At least that's our hopes anyway. But talking back about the high school game Friday night, we're going to bring you the game. Now, we had some problems last week with internet reception, but this week we won't have that problem. Gulf Coast Sports Media, we're going to bring the game to you, myself and Carlos Moles. It's going to be Facebook Live or YouTube Live. I'm looking forward to homecoming.
Oh, man. Make sure you come home. Go buy you a ticket, sit in the stands, come watch these guys and support the Panthers.
Absolutely.